Everyone, you're watching Eagle News America. I'm Ace Ramirez, coming to you from Washington. It's Wednesday, January 27, 2021. We have updates from several of our correspondents across North America. Eliza Gonzalez Manglikmot in Washington.
The Department of Homeland Security issues a National Terrorism Advisory System Bulletin, and DC thanks President Biden for increasing vaccine allocation in the district.
Mayanne Manzano Guerzon in Sicklerville, New Jersey.
New Jersey reports over 600,000 COVID vaccinations, gives instructions on how to get second dose of vaccine, and updates on COVID-19 numbers in New Jersey.
In Swarthmore, Pennsylvania, Myla Simbulan.
Pennsylvanians can now file applications for property tax or rent rebate program online, and payments for the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program resumes.
And for EBC Sports, Tenny Sumage in New York.
Tyronn Lue, Jordan Clarkson, and Steve Nash share favorite Kobe Bryant memories.
Plus, EBC friend Gia Canuelas Roldan shares with us the banoffee pie recipe. You heard me right, banoffee. Did I say it right? Banoffee. All right. And for our roundtable discussion, it's National Chocolate Cake Day. And we'll talk about our team members' favorite kind of chocolate cake. Our coverage begins now. President Joe Biden vows the U.S. will lead the world's charge to confront the existential threat of the climate crisis as he signs a raft of new orders and announces a global summit in April this year. The measures include placing a hold on new oil and gas drilling on federal lands. Let's take a look.
Unlike previous administrations, I don't think the federal government should give handouts to big oil to the tune of $40 billion in fossil fuel subsidies. And I'm going to be going to the Congress asking them to eliminate those subsidies. We're going to take money and invest it in clean energy jobs in America. It's about coming to the moment to deal with this maximum threat that that's now facing us, climate change, with a greater sense of urgency. In my view, we've already waited too long to deal with this climate crisis. We can't wait any longer. We see it with our own eyes, we feel it, we know it in our bones. And it's time to act. I'm signing today an executive order to supercharge our administration's ambitious plan to confront the existential threat of climate change. And it is an existential threat. And today's executive order will help strengthen that commitment by working with other nations to support the most vulnerable to the impact of climate change and to increase our collective resilience. That includes a summit of world leaders that I'll convene to address this climate crisis on Earth Day this year.
Meanwhile, Secretary of State Antony Blinken got to work Wednesday with a warning that the world's eyes were on the United States to see if it can heal deep divisions. Blinken, a veteran diplomat and confidant of President Joe Biden, promised to rebuild morale and respect in a welcome ceremony at the State Department front entrance that was extraordinary for what was lacking, crowds. With COVID-19 raging, Blinken asked that only a bare minimum of employees, all masked, come to see him, and noted that just days earlier, barricades had been protecting the usually stead building near the National Mall in the wake of a failed insurrection at the Capitol. Blinken said, "The world is watching us intently right now. They want to know if we can heal our nation." He said they want to see whether we will lead with the power of our example, if we'll put a premium on diplomacy with our allies and partners to meet the great challenges of our time. For today's COVID-19 numbers, according to the Coronavirus Resource Center of Johns Hopkins University in Medicine, as of 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday, January 27, the number of cases of COVID-19 reported worldwide is now more than 100,670,000. Top 3 on the list of countries with recorded cases: U.S. with more than 25.5 million, India 10.6 million, Brazil with more than 8.9 million. To date, more than 2,167,000 have succumbed to this virus. U.S. leads the countries with the most number of COVID-19 related deaths with more than 427,000. Brazil is next with more than 218,000, and India has more than 153,000. Director of the Pan American Health Organization, Carisse Etienne, says the situation in Brazil is particularly worrisome, noting the challenge for the health system in the virus-stricken northern city of Manaus as people wait to hospital and ICU beds.
The situation in Brazil is particularly worrisome. Nearly 3/4 of all ICU beds in many Brazilian states, from the northern regions of the Amazon to the southern border of Uruguay, are being used to treat COVID patients. And many patients in the city of Manaus await hospital and ICU beds as rising cases challenge the health system.
With more than 3,000 burials in January alone, the Amazon rainforest city of Manaus does not remember a deadlier month. Its cemetery is expanding at breakneck speed as bulldozers dig dozens of graves daily to accommodate the influx of victims of Brazil's deadly second wave of COVID-19, possibly fueled by new, more infectious virus variants. White House spokeswoman Jen Psaki said Wednesday the United States wants a robust and clear international probe into the origins of the COVID-19 pandemic. Psaki said it was imperative we get to the bottom of how the virus appeared and spread worldwide. Let's take a look.
Obviously, the misinformation, of course, that we've seen also come out of some sources in China is of great concern to us. It's imperative that we get to the bottom of the early days of the pandemic in China, and we've been supportive of an international investigation that we feel should be robust and clear.
During a virtual news briefing by the White House COVID-19 response team, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Director Rochelle Walensky says COVID-19 cases rates in the United States remain extraordinarily high.
Our case rates remain extraordinarily high, and now is the time to remain vigilant. If we continue in the current trajectory, the CDC most recent national ensemble forecasts predicts that 479,000 to 514,000 COVID-19 deaths will be reported by February 20th, 2021.
Walensky warned, now is not the time to travel.
Now is not the time to travel, but if you must, be safe and follow the CDC guidance. This includes wearing a mask as well as testing and quarantine protocol.
The United States, which passed 25 million confirmed cases last weekend, remains the country with the largest outbreak and the largest death toll of over 420,000. When we come back, updates from Washington, D.C. and Sicklerville, New Jersey. This is Eagle News America. Stay with us.
Factual.
We have to defeat the virus everywhere.
Timely information. Balanced, not only in the country, but also abroad.
I'm certain of one thing.
Interviews that people need to know. Watch Aguila Pilipinas, a one-hour newscast of reports coming from regional hubs in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Know the important updates in Asia in ASEAN in Focus. Track the latest stories in the provinces in Aguila Provincia. Tune into Mata ng Aguila, the evening primetime news program of Net25. Balanced and objective, Mata ng Aguila covers national and international issues, tackles news on business, health, science, and technology, entertainment, sports and human interest features, and current events. And Eagle News International
On
delivers
tonight's
the latest
headlines.
global reports, impartial, accessible, and up-to-date. It brings to fore EBC's rich international scope and access to valuable information streams.
Well, thank you to explain our health outdoor
Catch these programs on Net 25. You can also watch our news programs through eaglenews.ph and Eagle News Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Hello, happy peeps! It's VJ Ai here. I am your COD or Celebrity on Delivery sa PM is the Key this Thursday on Happy Time dito lang sa Net 25. Happy time, happy time,
Watching Eagle News America, I'm Ace Ramirez in Washington. Faced by what is believed to be a heightened threat environment across the country, the Department of Homeland Security issues a National Terrorism Advisory System Bulletin. Plus, the District of Columbia thanks President Biden for the additional vaccine allocation for the city. In Washington, Eliza Gonzalez Manglikmot joins us tonight.
Thank you, Ace. 3 weeks ago, a violent mob laid siege on the U.S. Capitol, and today the effects of that insurrection continue to ripple through America. This morning, the acting Secretary of Homeland Security issued an NTAS, or National Terrorism Advisory System Bulletin. The NTAS Bulletin was released due to what is described as a heightened threat environment across the United States. Excuse me. Now, despite a successful presidential inauguration, the Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, believes that this heightened threat environment will persist for weeks to come. DHS says information suggests that some ideologically motivated violent extremists are very much a threat. The bulletin says groups with objections to the exercise of governmental authority, excuse me, and the presidential transition, as well as other perceived grievances fueled by false narratives, could continue to mobilize to incite or commit violence. Now, throughout 2020, domestic violent extremists, or the DVEs, were noticeably active. DVEs targeted people with opposing views and confronted them as they held First Amendment-protected nonviolent protest activities. Now, according to Homeland Security, domestic violent extremists are motivated by a range of issues: COVID-19 restrictions, the 2020 election results, and police use of force, just to name a few. Now, these groups have also plotted and, on occasion, carried out attacks against government facilities. Now, the DHS is concerned that these same drivers to violence will remain through early 2021, and some may even be emboldened by the January 6th breach of the U.S. Capitol. Homeland Security is asking the public to report any suspicious activities and threats of violence, including online activity, to local law enforcement or the FBI. Now, aside from domestic terrorism, President Joe Biden's administration has its hands full trying to fight another battle: the COVID-19 pandemic. His efforts have not gone unnoticed or unappreciated here in the nation's capital. Washington, D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser thanked President Biden for answering the call from more vaccines to fight the coronavirus. The Biden administration promised to increase the District of Columbia's vaccine allocation by 15% for the next 3 weeks. In D.C., healthcare workers, fire and emergency medical workers, residents of long-term and intermediate care facilities and group homes, people who are 65 years old and older, and the homeless are among the groups eligible to receive the vaccine. Now, yesterday, DC public school staff also started receiving vaccinations. For more information, updates, and appointments, people could go to vaccinate.dc.gov. Now, for some weather update, it's 39 degrees Fahrenheit or 4 degrees Celsius here in the nation's capital. In Washington, Eliza Gonzalez Manglikmot, Eagle News. We live in interesting times. Back to you, Ace.
Eliza, in connection with reporting suspicious activities and threats of violence, there's an ongoing campaign by DHS called "If You See Something, Say Something." How can one get involved?
Now, Ace, there's what the Department of Homeland Security calls campaign partners. Now, this is beyond individual involvement. Being a campaign partner is more on a community level, and this includes, but it's not limited to, states, cities and counties, airports and mass transit entities, sports leagues and teams. It also includes major sports events and entertainment venues, colleges and universities, fairs and festivals, and private sector businesses and media outlets. Now, to become a partner, simply send an email to csa@hq.dhs.gov and include, number 1, the entity you represent, number 2, your name and contact information, number 3, the city and state in which your entity is located. Now, partnerships include access to awareness signage, public service announcements, educational materials, and a social media toolkit with evergreen content and images. Now, the DHS encourages partners to promote the campaign year-round. For sample campaign materials, go to dhs.gov/see something, say something /campaign-materials. Ace?
Thank you so much, Eliza Gonzalez Manglikmot, Washington, D.C. The state of New Jersey reports over 600,000 COVID-19 vaccinations and follows through with instructions on how to receive the dose. In Sicklerville, May Ann Manzano-Guerzon has the details. May Ann.
Thank you, Ace. New Jersey's statewide vaccination total increased Wednesday to 642,613 doses administered as the state learned from federal authorities that additional vaccine doses would be coming in the next 3 weeks. Take a look.
Our dashboard this morning is showing 642,613 vaccinations. We have now gotten more shots in arms than we have had confirmed positive PCR COVID tests. We are certainly optimistic about all the signs coming from the White House, especially coming out of a call yesterday and the announcement that we will be seeing an increase in our vaccine allocation as well. And I think, Judy, you appreciate this more than any of us. It's not just the increase, which we desperately need, and we need more, but having a 3-week window as opposed to 1 week to the next is a big deal. And I know you were on with the White House again today. You may want to talk about that in your comments. This will allow us to make better decisions about statewide distribution and administration. Make no mistake, however, that we, like every other state, need greatly increased vaccine production and delivery. We just need the doses to make our program run as it has been purpose-built to run. Also, as Judy will speak to in greater detail, we're working hard to ensure that those who need their second dose will get it in a timely manner. Now, if you received your first vaccination dose through an appointment you made via our information hub at covid19.nj.gov/vaccine, your second dose appointment has been automatically scheduled, and you will receive an email confirmation regarding this within the next several days. If, on the other hand, you received your first dose at the Gloucester County megasite but booked your appointment directly with the megasite and did not use our state website, the Gloucester County megasite will be reaching out directly to you this week to schedule your second dose. If, on the other hand, you booked directly with a vaccine site for your first dose and did not book your second dose appointment at the time of your first shot, which we strongly encourage everybody to do, by the way, then you need to contact the site where you got the first shot to schedule your booster shot. And finally, if by the end of the weekend, so a few days from now, you are still not certain how you will get your second dose appointment, contact our vaccination call center and our operators will assist you with scheduling one. That number is, again, 855-568-0545.
In other news, New Jersey state officials on Wednesday reported another 3,950 confirmed cases of the coronavirus and 107 additional deaths as hospitalizations dropped to the lowest number since late November. Take a look.
Today, we're also adding 3,950 new positive PCR tests and 1,080 new presumed positive antigen rapid tests to our statewide totals. You add all that up, and it's 676,500 137 in total cumulatively. The positivity rate for last Saturday, now there are only, it's because it's a Saturday, fewer tests were taken, 25,509 by the way. Positivity rate was 12.62%. We had this discussion earlier. If you're getting tested on a Saturday, I think we've now felt for many months that you're doing that for a reason. And you probably have some reason to want to get tested, which I think may explain the bump up in the positivity rate from literally just yesterday, a couple of points. The statewide rate of transmission happily continues to be lower, 0.91, and our job is to keep it going down. As of 10 p.m. last night, our hospitals were treating 3,190 patients for COVID, 2,969 who were COVID positive, along with 221 persons awaiting test results. Judy, that's the first time below 3,200 in a number of weeks, and that's good news. There were 578 of those patients in intensive care, and 406 required a ventilator. During the day yesterday, 416 live patients were discharged from our 71 hospitals, while 375 new COVID positive patients were admitted. That's 375 too many, but I like the days when more are coming out than are going in. And our hospitals, again, at the risk of comparing apples to oranges, reported 69 deaths yesterday, yet to be confirmed. However, these are confirmed. We're announcing an additional 107 blessed souls who have left our New Jersey family confirmed. That brings the statewide cumulative total of confirmed fatalities to 19,091. The number of probable deaths has been adjusted to 2,129.
And for weather update, Ace, it's currently 8:59 in the evening here in New Jersey, and it's currently cloudy. It is 30 degrees Fahrenheit or -1 degrees Celsius. In Sicklerville, New Jersey, May and Manzano Garzon, Eagle News, we live in interesting times. Back to you, Ace.
Thank you, May. And I have a couple of questions for you. What's the number of the first dose of vaccines? How many have been administered there in New Jersey? And second, everybody all across America experiencing supply issues. How many vaccination sites are now open in New Jersey?
Well, first is out of the 642,613 vaccine doses administered here in New Jersey, so far according to the state's dashboard, which can be accessed online, 550,526 of those were the first of the 2 doses that were administered. And yes, correct, that's we are really having a supply issue like what everyone or all of the states are experiencing. But here in New Jersey, all of these 6 mega sites are now open, along with other 200 vaccine locations. Ace?
That's great. Thank you so much, May Ann Manzano Garzon in Sicklerville, New Jersey.
Thank you,
Up next from Swarthmore, Pennsylvania, and EBC Sports. Eagle News America will return shortly.
Hey there, Arnie Aquino here at Hatley Castle, one of the filming locations for the X-Men series. Don't forget to tune in to Digital Nest only on Net 25.
Namayani ang galing ng second-time qualifiers na sina Willie Cordovales, Maris Mitra at ang callbacker na si Ken Fraser. Isa sa kanila ang maaaring makatapat ng Luntayo siblings sa semifinals. Kung sino yan, let's find out as we begin the battle for the monthly finals. Ito po ang biggest talent competition on Philippine TV and online. Ito po ang Tag-Isa ng Galing Part 2 Singing Edition.
Innovation, digital disruption, globalization. Startups, micro, small, and medium enterprises, as well as large corporations, all face interesting challenges in the market today. Peek into the world of exciting opportunities and partnerships to drive growth with the latest business news and information. We are open for business. Join the conversations to create a more vibrant environment for entrepreneurship. Catch Open for Business every Saturday from 5 to 6 p.m. Open for Business, from vision to action.
You are watching Eagle News America. I'm Ace Ramirez in Washington. It's tax season in the U.S. and adjusting to the world's current pandemic situation, Pennsylvania is giving those who wish to file their applications for property tax or rent rebates a chance to do so online. Plus, payments for the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program resumes. In Swarthmore, Myla Simbulan is with us tonight. Myla.
That's right, Ace. Good morning and good evening to all our viewers. Payments for the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance here in Pennsylvania in the new Federal CARES Act extension are resuming. Here's Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry Acting Secretary Jennifer Barrier to tell us more. Take a look.
Beginning today, claimants of the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, also known as the PAHO program, can file for additional claim weeks. As a reminder, the PAHO program was created through the original Federal CARES Act to assist workers who are not typically eligible for unemployment compensation. This includes gig workers, freelancers, and business owners. The CARES Act extension provides an additional 11 weeks of payment for these workers. This is crucial because many of the industries that continue to be heavily affected by the COVID-19 pandemic are staffed by workers who are not eligible for traditional unemployment compensation. PAHO claimants should simply log into their dashboards as they had done prior to December 26th.
The Pandemic Unemployment Assistance provides up to 39 weeks of unemployment benefits to individuals not eligible for regular unemployment compensation or extended benefits, including those who have exhausted all rights to such benefits. PUA benefits are only for individuals who are employed due to COVID-19 reasons. It does not cover individuals without an attachment to the labor market or individuals who are unemployed for non-COVID-19 reasons. Important points to remember. Filing for the additional 11 claim weeks began January 22. You must file by January 29. If you miss this deadline, you will need to email ucpua@pa.gov to request backdating. You will be able to file for the weeks of January 2, 9, 16, and 23. If you no longer had claims weeks or did not file for the week ending December 26, 2020 for any reason, you must reopen your claim before you can proceed. To do this, log on to your dashboard and click on the link to reopen a claim. And if you are new, first-time PUA claimant opening a claim in 2021, you cannot yet file. PUA is still adding 2020 as a base wage year in the system and will notify you when you are able to file for benefits. You will automatically receive the extra 300 weekly federal pandemic unemployment compensation or FPUC, and you do not need to take any action to get this boost. Meanwhile, older and disabled Pennsylvanians can now apply for rebates on property taxes or rent paid in 2020. This assistance is available through the Property Tax or Rent Rebate Program, which has delivered more than $6.8 billion to eligible Pennsylvanians since the program's inception in 1971. Officials with the Departments of Revenue and Aging are encouraging applicants of the program to take advantage of a new online filing option that will allow them to submit their applications electronically. Applicants should visit mypath.pa.gov to electronically submit their applications. The Department of Revenue launched this online portal to make it easier for those who benefit from the program to submit their applications. Previously, all applicants were required to submit a paper application. Here's Pennsylvania Department of Revenue Secretary Dan Hassel to tell us more. Take a look.
This year, we've launched a new website that eligible Pennsylvanians can visit to submit their applications for the property tax and rent rebate program. Visit mypath.pa.gov to fill out your application for rebates on property taxes or rent that was paid in 2020.
Submitting your application online is easy and does not require you to sign up for an account. Applicants will be asked to provide specific information on their income and rent or property taxes. Applicants should check the property or tax rent rebate program instruction booklet to learn which information they will need to input or upload to complete the process. Right now, Ace in Swarthmore is 33 degrees Fahrenheit. It's really chilly out there, or 0.5 degrees Celsius with clear skies. In Swarthmore, Pennsylvania, Myla Simbula and Eagle News, we live in interesting times. Back to you, Ace.
Thank you so much, Myla. The PUA program, it sounds like a very helpful assistance program, but are the people responsive? How many Pennsylvanians are replying to this PUA program? Is the information disseminated properly?
The PUA told us that there's more than 400 Pennsylvanians and their families that are relying on these PUA benefits to get through this terrible pandemic, and they're working as quickly as possible to complete the implementation and to resume all those payments. Ace?
I see. And you also tackled, you mentioned about the rebate for property tax and rent. And this is only applicable to elders. Is that correct? Did I hear it right?
Yes, to elders and those who are disabled as well.
Oh, and disabled as well. Well, but
yes,
the question is, okay, I filed my application for rebate, but when can I expect the rebate? Will it be a month?
No, by law, rebates will be distributed beginning July 1st. But if you provide your phone number or your property tax or rent rebate application form in the electronic application, you will receive an automated call. There's an automated call from the Department of Revenue when you claim your post to that department's processing system. You will also receive another automated call when your claim is approved. And the easiest way to check the status of your rebate is to use the Where's My Rebate tool, which reminds me, Ace, I have to check my rebates when I went shopping last Black Friday.
You better do that soon.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Myla Simbulan from Swarthmore, Pennsylvania. A year ago, Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash, and the world lost one of the NBA greats. Bryant touched the lives of fans worldwide, as evidenced by the stories people share about the basketball icon. Who better to give us insights about what made the LA Laker All-Star so special than his former teammates? Tenny Sumage has the story. Tenny.
Thanks, Ace. Kobe Bryant's legacy will forever resonate in the hearts and minds of former teammates Tyronn Lue, Jordan Clarkson, and Steve Nash. We'll start with Lue, who entered the NBA in 1998 and played 3 seasons with Bryant and the LA Lakers, which included back-to-back NBA titles in 2000 and 2001. The LA Clippers coach draws comparisons to Bryant's work ethic with another great NBA legend, his former teammate, Michael Jordan.
To win, I think just their competitive nature and their will to win, and then just bringing it every single day in practice. Like, they practice harder than they play in the games most of the time. And like I said, I asked Kobe that, and I think, B. Shaw and Ron Harper said, why are you going so hard in practice? He said, well, practice is harder Because if I practice hard in the games, practice hard, then the games are easier. So that was their approach. That's how MJ approached it, even when I played with him at 40 or 41 years old. Never wanted to take days off of practice, even though Doug Collins, tried to make him, but he would never do it. And Kobe was the same way.
Clarkson, who entered the league in 2014, spent his first 4 seasons with the LA Lakers, 3 of them with the Black Mamba. The Filipino-American guard says that Bryant's last NBA game back in April 13, 2016 was the most memorable for him.
Most memorable, something that, definitely that's hard set in stone, I feel like, in everybody's life is his last game. Just seeing him go out like that, having 60, it's just a moment that I know little kids that were watching, anybody around the world that was watching during that time, that's always going to be stuck in their head, leaving on a great note like that and just showing greatness. So that's definitely one that's, etched in my history books and career and in my brain forever.
Nash was Bryant's teammate in his last 2 seasons of his illustrious 18-year NBA career. The Brooklyn Nets coach admired Bryant's life as a father.
For me, most importantly, he was an incredible father. So that to me is like the tragedy of Kobe passing is that he was an incredible father and was just starting to embark on that chapter of his life that, I think was remarkable and something that I really admired about him.
Ace, I'm going to end with one of my favorite Bryant quotes on success. Quote, "The most important thing is to try and inspire people so that they can be great at whatever they want to do." End quote. Mambasita out here in New York. Tenny Sumagi, Eagle News. We live in interesting times. Back to you, Ace.
Tenny, so Kobe Bryant, what can we say about this great man? Right? Everybody loves him, from Asia to the Americas and even in China. Well, how do you remember him?
He's a global icon, Ace. I think everybody took his death very personal. For me, I would say, I think it felt like losing a loved one. And I think I wasn't hurt by, I haven't been hurt by any famous person dying since Princess Diana. I don't know if you agree with me, Ace, but Kobe Bryant is definitely one of the greatest, most, I would say, iconic athletes of all time. I would probably say that more than Michael Jordan. Would you agree, Ace?
I think I would definitely agree with that. And I kind of felt your voice cracking there. Are you getting emotional a little bit? Just sports icon.
I am. I mean, my family loves Kobe Bryant. My cousin from Vancouver couldn't even, I think she kind of secluded herself for like a week, because I remember visiting her back in 2003, her and her family. She has Kobe's memorabilia all over her room. So when he passed, it was kind of, she didn't want to talk to anybody. And I think a lot of people have felt that way. For me also, it was a hard time. Last year, at the same time that Kobe died, I lost somebody who was more like a mentor to me, a minister of the gospel. So I took that very hard too. And they have very similar mentality. They have that Mamba mentality, both Kobe and one of my mentors.
True that. From his charity and humanitarian works, his basketball programs for kids, and his leadership on and off the court, his outlook and reaction to adversity, they're very admirable traits for this great sports icon, and it's really a big loss to not only to the NBA but to the entire sports as a whole.
Yes, definitely. And Ace, I don't know if you ever read any of his books, Mamba Mentality, Legacy of the Queen, which if you have children, I have a copy of that book, which he created with, I forgot the author's name. I mean, before his death too, he was going to coordinate or collaborate, I should say, with Paulo Coelho, who's famously known to write The Alchemist, one of my favorite books that I've read, and a New York Times seller. And I would say, and I said this in the Canadian telecast on Sunday, that he and the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar are one of the most eloquent writers of in sports. If you ever get a chance to read any of their books and even watch his Oscar-winning short film, Dear Basketball, I mean, it will blow your mind how intelligent Kobe Bryant is. He's definitely the epitome of more than an athlete, which is why he's an icon.
I'll include that in my list. Thank you so much for the tips, Tenny Sumage from New York.
Thanks, Ace.
Up next, EBC friend Gia Ganuelas Roldan shares with us her Banoffee recipe, plus tonight's roundtable discussion, your favorite chocolate cake variety for National Chocolate Cake Day. Eagle News America will return in a moment.
Events happen around us all the time, in our community, in our country, around the world. Events that affect people, move communities, or simply inspire us. Interesting events that people need to know. In these interesting times, we continue to be a competent partner in delivering news about these events. Fast, accurate, balanced. Eagle News, because we live in interesting times.
Konnichiwa! Happy peeps, it's me, Yuki Sakamoto. Catch me on Jano Gives Entertainment on Happy Time. That's on Thursday at 12 noon, only here on Net25.
Happy time, happy time,
Kayo pala nagtatapon ng mga basura.
Ano ba ang pinariringgan mo? Sandali. Okay.
May solusyon na ang problema natin sa basura.
Kumanta, sumaya tayong lahat. Saya-saya.
This is Eagle News America. I'm Ace Ramirez in Washington. Are you a fan of bananas and toffees together in a pie? If you are, then this next recipe is for you. EBC friend Gia Ganuelas Roldan invites us to her kitchen in San Antonio, Texas for this yummy no-bake Banoffee pie.
If you like the flavors of both bananas and toffee, then you will love the creamy deliciousness of my no-bake banoffee pie.
Hi guys, I am Gia Ganwalas Roldan with my assistant, Galvin.
Hi everyone!
And for today, we will show you how to make banoffee pie. Let's get started.
First, we need the following ingredients and supplies. We need bananas, crushed cookies, one cup of heavy cream, 3 egg yolks, 3 tablespoons of melted butter, 1 can of condensed milk, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 60 grams of chocolate, we also need whipped cream, and chocolate and caramel syrup. First, we're going to make our custard. We're going to combine the condensed milk, the heavy cream, egg yolks, and the cornstarch. Mix them together. Turn on the stove into medium heat. Then just keep on mixing the mixture. Once you have this type of consistency, you can already set aside the custard and put it on the fridge. For our crust, we're just going to combine the melted butter and also the crushed cookies. Once the mixture is already ready, we can already simply place this to our container. I heated this chocolate inside the microwave so that we can use this as filling for our banoffee pie. After doing this, we can set aside this crust and you can put it on the fridge. Okay, for our bananas, we're just going to slice this, and after we can already put our custard and mix it together. Then we can just simply put our mixture to our container. Then we can add whipped cream on top. Then let's add the chocolate syrup. Then we can add the caramel syrup.
Recipe of banoffee pie, a great dessert for your next family dinner party or to enjoy for yourself. In San Antonio, Texas, I am Gia Ganwalas Roldan.
I'm Galvin Zero Ganwalas Roldan.
Eagle News. We'll live in interesting times.
Thank you so much, Gia, for that lovely, awesome banoffee pie. Well, January 27 is National Chocolate Day, and so we asked our EBC friends from across the country what kind of chocolate cake is their favorite. Let's take a look.
My favorite chocolate cake is cookies and cream because it's sweet and full of Oreos. My favorite chocolate cake is chocolate Oreo because Oreos are my favorite. It's crunchy and it makes the cake extra tasty.
My favorite cake is my mom's chocolate mousse cake with ganache.
My favorite chocolate cake is tuxedo cake because it is rich and creamy. My favorite chocolate cake is the Brigadeiro because it's super moist and not too sweet. My favorite chocolate cake is Nutella Ferrero chocolate cake because I love Ferrero chocolate.
My favorite chocolate cake is chocolate fudge cake because it's smooth, dense, and incredibly moist.
My favorite chocolate cake is red velvet cake because I personally love baking red velvet cake, and it's such a simple cake, but when you put it all together with all the right ingredients, it just tastes so good.
My favorite chocolate cake is the Oreo ice cream cake because I like Oreos and ice cream.
My favorite chocolate cake would have to be red velvet because I really like how the cream cheese icing brings out the chocolate flavor.
My favorite chocolate cake is chocolate cake with fudge filling and fudge frosting.
My favorite chocolate cake is salted caramel chocolate cake. My favorite chocolate cake is Chocomocha Crunch chocolate cake.
My favorite chocolate cake is chocolate mousse.
My favorite chocolate cake is ice cream chocolate cake. My favorite chocolate cake is rainbow chocolate cake. The chocolate cake that I like is Black Forest with whipped cream, frosting, and sour cherries. It's really yummy. I like chocolate cake because it's with ice cream. Hi, my name is Casey, and my favorite type of chocolate cake is chocolate cake with pieces of chocolate on top. I like it because I get to eat those pieces of chocolate on top and the chocolate cake. My favorite cake is chocolate cake. My favorite cake is chocolate cake with lots of whipped cream and strawberries.
My favorite cake is chocolate cake. That's the best answer right there. If this talk about Banoffee and chocolate cake hasn't teased your sweet tooth yet, well, I don't know. There's probably something wrong with you. But let me ask you. We heard it from our friends. Let me ask our team members. Let's start with, of course, I promised you, not Scarlett, May-Ann. May-Ann, okay.
Yes,
Favorite chocolate cake?
Well, it's first of all, these kids really know their chocolate cakes because prior to watching this, our MOS, I didn't know there's that many types of chocolate cake. So I'm not really into it, but I really like the Choco Lava cake. Why? Because of that warm chocolate filling that oozes out once you break the cake. And of course, the ice cream that is all served with it. Ace?
Right on, spot on, and right temperature too. Oh, my goodness. Let's go to Tenny. Tenny, what's your favorite chocolate cake?
And I would ramble on because I am a chocolate, like chocolate, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, white chocolate, brown chocolate. I like it, but I will say my favorite is any dark chocolate because healthy eater too, and chocolate.
To agree with you on that.
Unfortunately, Ace, I'm not a chocolate fan, but kids, really my youngest, love chocolate cake. So I had to one this pandemic, and I make black for them, and they really like it. It's a lot of chiffon of chocolate. You put whipped cream on it, and on top it's like right.
To agree, if not, we need a sample. To agree, guys. We need a sample. our
Do you have any samples?
Post-pandemic, hopefully.
may I ask, do you bake? Not a lover, but
bake much.
Another session. Okay. Well, Tenny, do you bake your own chocolate cake?
I used to bake a lot when I was younger, or when I was a teenager, but now our oven is now like a place where we put our pots and pans. So I usually buy chocolate cake, and I'm going to give a shout out to Magnolia Bakery, who is celebrating their 25th anniversary. If you ever go to New York, Ace, and that bakery is made popular by Sex and the City, the hit television show. You gotta try their cupcakes.
Happy 25th anniversary. Let's go to Eliza. Eliza, share with us, what's your favorite chocolate cake? And you bake it yourself?
No, number one, I don't bake. But my all-time favorite chocolate cake, I've tried others here in the US, but I always go home or go back to the Goldilocks chocolate roll. You remember that, guys? The Goldilocks chocolate roll. It's simple. It's not too complicated. It's not too sweet. It has the right amount of frosting, and the cake is perfectly moist. That's what I love about it.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for sharing your chocolate cake favorites. And we know who deserves a slice of the best chocolate cake there is. Our healthcare workers, first responders, and essential workers, because you are our modern day heroes. But because we cannot give you that slice of cake tonight, here's a sweet round of applause for you. That is today's News America. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ace Ramirez. We live in interesting times.